Welcome to Hebrew Prophets, OT 231 at New Hope Christian College. I'm Dr. Mark Kelly, and I'll be your teacher and leader as we kind of walk through the prophets, learn as much as we can, and become more sensitive to the way that God interacts with the world that He created, but doesn't always respond to Him the way that He had intended. That's why we need prophets, and that's what we're going to learn as we look through this great section of the Old Testament. So I want to spend just a moment this morning going through the syllabus. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You're all good readers, so you wouldn't be in this class. So I'll let you go through it and hold you accountable for all the details. But there's a couple of unique things that we'll be doing in this class that I think I wanted to draw attention to you just by way of this short video. First of all, each week I'll expect that you'll do the assigned reading, both in the Bible and in our textbook, and read my short little lecture. It'll usually be a Word document. You need to do that on Monday or at the latest halfway through Tuesday, because the biggest part of our learning will be the discussion that we have with each other, your feedback, your interaction with each other, your attempts to draw out of each other the best learning that you can get. And if those start on Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday, we'll have enough time to really get the kind of value out of them that we need to have. So do your reading and your lectures Monday, maybe Tuesday, and then Tuesday afternoon or at least Wednesday, become involved. The very first part of the discussion on our Moodle page each week is your response to the question that I pose. It's a question that's drawn upon the text reading, upon the Bible reading, and upon the lecture that kind of frames the week for us. You'll get 6 points for that every week. And then during the discussion, which goes on for as much as 8 or 9 days, you'll also want, in addition to your first response to me, at least 4 different times to respond to your classmates or to their response to you. So in other words, you need to discuss with each other. In that first response, to me, it's not just your ideas. I certainly want to know your ideas. That's a big part of it. I want to know how your ideas interact with the textbook and with my lecture. Often, the people who gain the most points from that first response are those who quote the textbook or my lecture, or perhaps quote another book, or even a Bible verse that we haven't thought of. So you're thinking in terms of bringing various elements of truth and learning together and showing how you can put them into an integrated package. So that's the discussions. A real significant piece that shows the best of your learning ability in your response to me, and then to draw out the best of learning in each other by not just saying, I like what you said, you can say that, but I like what you said and here's the reason why, or here's a different perspective that maybe you haven't thought of yet, friend. Perhaps posing a question to get a little bit more information. And once in a while, we'll even, in those discussions, post a very divergent idea than what other people have had. We can do that in a graceful way, but as we do, we bring the deepest level of interaction out of each other. That's the discussions. The second big element of this class is the Prophet Project. We won't begin that for about another month, but you can start looking at that. Certainly you can look at the PDF at the top of the e-course, and it will describe what that is like. Once we get into the second month, every other week you'll be posting part of the Prophet Project, and then at the end we'll bring the whole thing together. The idea is I want you to do your best work, and so we'll do it piece by piece, each one being evaluated by myself and responded to by your classmates. And so when we're done, you will have a piece of prophetic announcement or ministry of which you can truly be proud, and which you know will be persuasive and usable by the Lord. And then the final piece that I want to talk about in this little video is the reflections papers. Approximately every other week, sometimes a little bit more often. On Fridays, you will be responsible for a reflection paper. That is where you take the little pieces of learning that you've done on your own reading, in the textbook, in the scripture, and other resources, and the posts that you had and the interaction, and you say, what is the most important thing for me? What have I learned? Maybe it's something that someone else said, maybe it's something from Scripture, maybe it's just a teaching that God has given me. But from this course, what's the most important thing that I've learned this week, and how can I use that productively in my life, in my ministry, in my marriage, just being a successful person? And so in that reflection paper, I will be looking for you to prove to me that you've learned something new and that you know how to use that in a whole range of ways as you move forward into your life. There's more on that in the PDF. And once we get into that next week, I will give you more instructions. And anytime you have an idea or question about what these assignments are like, you can certainly email me and I'll be happy to respond. Well, that's it for today, except for the fact that as soon as possible, I'm looking forward to seeing your biographies, which is what we do the first week. We just describe who we are, the path that God has put you on, the things that you've learned, the turning points of your life, and perhaps just a little glimmer of the vision, the dream that God has given to you. So please, I'm looking to see your biographies and to have a chance to get to know you better. And once again, thank you for being part of this class. I think it's going to be a terrific time and a wonderful way to use a nice chunk of our summertime. Goodbye and God bless.